from P8. And welcome to episode 2 of Let's Get Digital.
So, we've been asked many questions about websites and apps that are acceptable to use with our students in the classroom, which has led us to filming episode 2 of
Terms of Service.
Ooh.
You know, terms of service is an important thing that we all need to be aware of. The reason why terms of service are so important is because there's an educational law called COPPA. And COPPA stands for the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act. And basically, all that law boils down to is that it limits the amount of information websites can collect from children under the age of 13. Do I have any Silicon Valley fans out there? Because I know I'm a huge fan of that show. I watch it whenever it's on. And nothing was more eye-opening than when fake TV life crept into my real life in the most recent season. Episode 2 was called Terms of Service, and it was all about how Dinesh created that video tool and they didn't create privacy policy, and so they broke terms of service and owed billions of dollars. Pied Piper owed billions of dollars because of not protecting their users, which were all girls under the age of 13. So, when life mirrors television, you know, you're talking about something pretty important. So, that's what we're here to talk about.
Yes, and in LISD, our number one priority is, of course, to keep our students safe. And because that's our number one priority, and because some of our devices go home, we have to make sure that our children are protected all of the time.
That's the whole reason for the LISD App Store, is that protection piece for children. All of those apps for 4th and 5th graders are COPPA compliant, meaning that their terms of service allow students under the age of 13 to use them, and no data is collected from those students. So, if you're a K through 3 teacher or a pre-K teacher and you're looking for good tools to use, checking the elementary app store first is great because those tools have been vetted.
Absolutely. So, stay tuned for a video where we show you how to search for the privacy policy and terms of service for apps and websites that you might be interested in using.
So to further our discussion about terms of service and websites and app developers' privacy policies, we thought it'd be helpful to sort of show you how to search a particular website or app if you're interested in learning more about their policies. So if you look at the bottom of the page, typically if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll find either terms of service or privacy policy right here for the website that you might be looking at. So if we click on terms, it's going to open sort of a terms overview. And there's a shortcut on your computer. If you click on Command and F, you'll get this pop-up box and you can search for a certain term, so you don't have to read through everything and not understand what it says. So if I click on 13 and I search that, I notice that nothing really pops up for that. So I'm going to try instead the words 13 and search for that as well. And nothing's coming up under their terms. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on privacy this time. So I'm going to do the same thing, Command F, and look for the word 13. Now all of a sudden all the highlighted words come up right when they're talking about the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA. And so basically reading through this, I see that children under the age of 13 must receive consent by an educator to use Swivel's recap, and the educator or educational institution assumes responsibility for obtaining the appropriate parental consent. Even though Swivel does not knowingly accept, collect, maintain, or use any of the information from any child under the age of 13, without the appropriate consent of a child whom swivel knows, blah, blah, blah. So basically what it's saying is right here that you are knowingly saying that you have permission from the parent for the child to be using the service. So that is like specifically on this web page. Typically, you can also find that information if you find out where their app is in the App Store. And we're going to see if I can get that to come up. I searched for it earlier. So right here it says student app. Okay. Let's do it a different way. Let's go into the iTunes store and I'm going to search recap. And so here's the app right here. And if I click on the app, we're going to notice as I scroll down a little bit and look for, see, it's not always easy. Most time, oh, here it is. People not even able to see it. So a lot of times when you search the app in the App Store, you'll get either a link to the developer's website, or right here, they're showing you a link to their privacy policy. So again, that's where you would be able to search for a specific app. As always, please let Julia or myself know if you have any further questions.
Not so scary, guys. Terms of service are a good thing when you know where to find them. Please let us know if you need any help in looking up terms of service or have any questions about the wording or the verbiage. We are more than happy to look into that for you. You guys are busy.
And here's a little hint for you. Any website or app that asks your student to create any type of account in elementary school breaks terms of service and most likely needs parent permission. That includes them using, a lot of times when they have to create an account or asked to create an account, it will say sign up using Google. Even signing up using Google breaks the terms of service because student information is collected by the developer.
That sign up with Google, that Google username and password is only good for student GAF accounts. So only good for Docs, Drive, Slides. It's not good for any third-party website.
So we are also going to share a short link with you, and the short link will help you to locate just a generic parent permission form. That short code is goo.gl/, let me find it, N87CR capital N. It is case sensitive.
Thanks for joining in for episode 2 of Let's Get Digital. We'll see you later. Nancy and I are here in very serious business. We have a formal retraction to issue. We regret to inform you that we do not reside in P8. We're reporting live from P1. Miriam Wine, Jane Germany, and Michael Vick
Reside in P8.
We, Nancy Benton and Julia Solnick, reside in P1.
We got confused.
We are so sorry for any issues this may have caused you, the viewer. I gotta do our primping. I got a weird bump in my hair. It's okay. I'm fine. Okay.
Greetings.
Okay. And welcome to episode 2 of Let's Get Digital. We never decided who was going to say that.
Okay, hi. Okay, now we're going to say, welcome.